All right, it is Money Monday, a segment here at 4 o'clock where we talk about easy to understand ways to navigate our finances, which is often confusing. Here to help us out is financial expert Paul Hood from Hood CPAs. And Paul, interesting situation on this Monday. Stephanie wrote in, and Stephanie had a series of questions, so I said, you know what, we're just going to get Stephanie some help.
Outstanding.
So we have three questions from Stephanie today. She says, I'm 28 years old. How much money should I put into retirement each month, each year? What is the appropriate age to start saving for retirement? Good question. And, you know, often folks in their early 20s, late 20s don't feel like they earn enough money to be able to contribute. And that's often a mistake. That's something I waited all the way until I was about that age to start contributing. Wish I had started a little bit sooner.
Right. Yeah, there's a study that showed two 18-year-olds. One started saving at 18, saved for 10 years. The second one waited 10 years and then saved for 20 years. And the one that started earlier and saved half as long, it actually ended up having more money because the concept of dollar cost averaging, time value of money, and all of that. So the answer to Stephanie's question is as much as you can. You know, Brian, you and I have talked a lot about the key to financial success is not what money's coming in, it's what money's going out. So if you can control your lifestyle and spend below 80% of what you bring home, then save the rest, or tithe and save part of it, whatever is good for you. But the sooner the better, and as much as possible. If you want to actually do a calculation of how much you need at retirement, then there's calculators out there. But the reality is it's not your age, and it's not how much you make, it's how much you spend. So control spending, save as much as possible.
And I like that Stephanie at age 28 is concerned enough. Her next question is about budgeting, and you talk about how important it is to have a monthly budget. She says, what is a good weekly or a monthly grocery budget for a family of 6? For Stephanie, it's 2 adults, 4 children, ages 2 to 7. So she has some young kids at home.
Sure. Well, you know, it depends on if you had kids at home like mine. My 3 boys, it was very significant. They just never stop eating. So, you know, statistically, and I think the U.S. government says the average person spends between $150 and $350 a month on food. So you can really figure about $250 a month per person. If you've got young kids, you know, you kind of factor that in. But what you want to do is really go backwards. Look at how much you've spent over the last 12 months. Organize the money going out into categories for the last 12 months, including what's put on credit cards. And then figure out how you can carve that back. So, you know, it's just because somebody else says this is a good budget, doesn't mean that's a good budget for you. So you really need to see how much you've already been spending and then carve that and then try to hold yourself accountable to that number. Again, tell your money where to go instead of the other way around.
There's a key word in her last question here that I know you're going to have fun with. Are jet skis a good investment? An investment is the key word that I know stands out to you, Paul. And I'm sure what she's trying to ask is, hey, if we get these things, is there any way to get our money back out of them if we go to sell them?
So the answer is no. I mean, obviously, any kind of car, motor home, boat, jet ski, those aren't investments. Now, some people, I should take that back, some people maybe if she's asking if she should buy them, if she can find them on sale and then maybe she's a mechanic or her husband's a mechanic and then sell them for profit, maybe. But if she's talking about that way, if she's talking about buying it for their personal use, that's not an investment, that's a toy. And again, if you stay within that 70% of what your 80% of what you bring home, then spend what you want there. Live in a nice home, drive junky cars, drive nice cars, live in a more reasonable home, whatever, but just keep your spending in that 70 to 80% of your net.
All right, Paul, thank you so much. Good to see you today. Stephanie, great questions. Thank you for those. And if you're watching right now and you have a financial question, just like Stephanie, that you want me and Paul to talk about next Monday, just send them in by email at moneymonday@griffin.news. We're back right